Thank you for that, Paul. And the crowd, have you ever heard a crowd that loud, that's that small?
No, not that small. I mean, I think this is the game they definitely wanted. It's Millennium, the LCS team versus the hometown team, paiN Gaming. So I think it's definitely the game that everybody wanted.
Yeah, I mean, paiN, they have been playing extremely well throughout the entire tournament. They upset Offset World 2-0. They had the amazing game one with that whole crescendo shockwave combo that they pulled off, completely eliminating them. But they're coming into a whole new kind of team. Millennium, they've been in LCS for the entirety of the summer split. They've been here and now back in the spring split, going 2-5 in the first 2 weeks. They're a completely different team, but can they pull it off? Do you think they have it?
Say that, but team. But I think paiN Gaming will definitely put up a fight.
Yeah, they definitely will. I mean, we saw, even though that last game was a little bit drawn out, they still won no matter what. Like that's the point. They still won. They still were able to bring it home when it really mattered. And you heard when Millennium walked out on stage, it was just all boos for them.
Yeah, they definitely don't have the crowd supporting them. So maybe the crowd being behind paiN will definitely give them a little bit of edge. I mean, that kind of gets in your head if you just have this whole crowd roaring and cheering for this team, and then you're trying to think, and you can't
hear each other when Spine and I were here trying to talk to each other. It's just so loud. But it's so great to see that entire country behind a team right now. I mean, you typically don't see that, at least in Europe and North America, where the whole country's unified to support one team kind of thing.
Well, I mean, you saw it at the Battle Atlantic. People were cheering USA, USA, and then you can't really...
But, you know, Europe's better.
Yeah, you can't... Oh, okay. Okay, okay, we saw how that worked out.
You know, we have better smiters. Sorry, I'm just joking with you, but you're definitely right. And it's so great to see these kind of international tournaments break out. I know you were talking about it earlier on, saying you want to see more international tournaments because it really starts to change the meta up. It helps make teams better, and it really is great to see as a viewer.
Well, not just that. I think it's so much more hyped up. I mean, you have people traveling across the entire world to play in these matches, and it's just like, it feels like there's so much more on the line. Like, you traveled across the entire world to play these other teams. You have no idea what you're going into because you probably don't even play them that much. You have a little bit of research. You've probably seen some video of them, but you really don't know what you're going into. And I think that just adds even more hype than like your every week LCS match. I like the every week LCS match. It's really nice. I love having something to view every week, but matches like this are kind of what I live for.
Yeah, and you see the crowd right there. They are behind their team, and if paiN win this, I think the roof is going to come off this building because of how loud it's going to go. They're going to go batshit insane. Let's just say that. I know I probably shouldn't say that word on stream, but it's going to be such a great game. And let's talk about the two teams in particular. You know, Millennium, has there been any really standout player for you that you've seen throughout this week? It's kind of put you on the spot. I mean, everyone has had their moments. But
yeah, they're all been doing pretty well. I've always liked Kerp the best out of Millennium, to be honest, though. I think he used to be a top lane player, right?
Right.
And then he came to mid. He's been a mid laner for what? Probably like 3 months, 2 months?
Yeah, he was actually originally a mid laner too, but he transitioned to the top lane for alternate, and now he's back in his like home. But you're definitely right, couple months, and he's been competing against, you know, Frog, and he's competing against Xpeke, he's competing against some of the best mid laners in Europe, and competing with them on an even level.
Yeah, I definitely think it's really impressive that he can go toe-to-toe with them after only coming back to the role for such a short period of time.
Especially with that.
Yeah,
that trackball
mouse. Oh my god.
Just look how big his thumb muscle is. It's ridiculous.
I know,
You'll never beat him in a thumb war, I can guarantee that.
All right, we need to have Carmack versus Kerp in a thumb war after this match. I want to see it. We're going to get it on here on the stream. I want to see it.
I honestly don't know who would win that. I think Carmack tried cheating. I think
yes, Carmack would probably throw sand in his eyes.
Yeah. But for paiN Gaming, I mean, we had Venom, Surti, Kami, BRTT, and Minerva. I'm trying to think of a standout player for me. And personally, everyone's been playing phenomenally well, but Kami.
I say Kami.
Yeah. And I mean, just like Millennium, Kami's been standing out for their team, just like Kerp has. But every single one of them have really shown through throughout the week. Everyone's really been stepping up. BRTT in that last game alone on that Caitlyn was doing some insane work with the help of Minerva on the Soda of all things that you typically don't see anymore in that support meta.
Well, actually, I don't think Sona's a bad thing. And from talking to a lot of people, they say if you build a little bit tank Sona, it's actually pretty quick into Thresh. Because Thresh is going to hit that hook, he's going to try to start that engage, and then you see Sona to counter engage. That's
very true. We saw just how damn deadly that crescendo could be. And Kami right there, he was so he was shy on camera. When he was being interviewed by Red Eye. I mean, he was very reserved, but he was so happy to have the entire crowd. Like, if you could see what he saw, everyone was standing up on their feet cheering for him. You could see he was like kind of blushing a little bit, and even a couple of members, I believe it was Venom actually, was actually a couple of tears in his eyes when they actually beat Ocelot World.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you see how much it means to them to be here.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you have your entire country behind you. You have like this huge crowd. You know that everybody's watching. The Brazilian stream has so many viewers. I looked at them like, oh my god, they're beating the English viewers in the stream. And I was like, this is amazing. I've never seen that before. If you have multi-language streams,
right,
the Brazilian stream is winning. So that there's all those people watching at home, and they probably know that.
Yeah, we'll be getting underway in just a second as a. Just getting a clarification, this will be a best of 3, but as, I think we have a little bit of a headset problem that will be fixed momentarily, and this should be it should be very exciting between these two teams because paiN has shown that they can come back from a deficit, that they can hold on, they can bring it to the end and really kind of force you to engage these team fights. And Millenium, they're just a strong team who've had a really rough time within this spring split. I mean, going 2-5, obviously Aranea, he complained about, you know, exams, and he hasn't really had the opportunity to sit down and really focus on League of Legends. We saw Alternate, you know, for instance, last season in the summer split, have an amazing start going 5-0, and I believe it was even like 7-1 or 6-1 after the second week we went to Russia.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. A lot of the teams are just getting back into things. I think midway through a split is when you can really judge how good a team is, because they need that build-up throughout the split to adapt to each other's strategies and like look at what the strong champions are. And I mean, the more you play better teams, the better you're going to get. So I think they just need a little bit more time to be at like full capacity.
All right, guys, we're getting underway with the picks and bans here in this grand final best of 3 between Millenium and paiN Gaming here at Intel Extreme Masters Sao Paulo. See Orianna as the first thing banned out by Millenium. That's got to be a respect ban.
Yeah, I don't think they want to see in those 4 many Orianna ults.
Oh, actually, bans coming in pretty fast. See Zillion taken away by paiN Gaming, and Ziggs as well. Ziggs banned out pretty much most of the games, if not every single one, or he was picked, I want to say.
Yeah, I mean, Ziggs is just and I think that's a little bit of the problem in the lower end teams, is that they kind of don't have the organization with that. So of course they're going to ban Ziggs out on. Then in Kassadin, they're the first pick team. They're banning Kassadin though, and I mean that's just mainly because actually I don't know. Like they have a Kassadin player on their team. Yeah. Don't they?
I'm sure Kerp can play damn anything.
Yeah.
It's been a very similar 3 bans out of Ocelot's World and Millenium throughout the entire week, that they want to take away the same 3 champions every time. But with the Zillion, at least, and Renekton taken away by paiN Gaming, we're going to see Gragas at the first here. And we already saw Arnett earlier on, played him in the jungle.
Yeah, I definitely think that's a really good first pick because you can put him in the jungle. I mean, I've seen him play at top, and you can play him mid, so you can pretty much go anywhere. So I think it's a really versatile pick. I think that's pretty good.
All right, well, we're seeing Thresh and Fire locked in here for paiN Gaming, and Surt's been pretty much everywhere throughout all of his jungle picks, and Minerva going to be on that Thresh. And you remember we were casting the first best of 3 between paiN and Isurus, and Minerva could not hit a hook, but once he did, it was like hook champion, kill champion.
Yeah, I mean, Annie's a little bit rougher lane for Thresh, even with the stun changes. But I think it should be a pretty even lane, regardless of what AD carry they pick. Lucian's a pretty balanced AD carry, and he has pretty good matchups against all of the different AD carries. So I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a long-range AD carry like Caitlyn or something out of paiN here.
All right, well, they are still sitting on their picks here, and they have to realize there's a lot at stake here. $15,000, the ticket to Katowice as well, and they're actually going to log in Jinx. BRTT did fantastic with Jinx earlier on.
Yeah, he hit every Super Mega Death Rocket, just sniping people everywhere. So I think it's a really good pick, and she's a pretty good matchup against Lucian as well. You can push the lane up really early if you start with your Q, and you can just gain early lane advantage with that, hit that level 2 really early. And of course, her level 6 all-in potential, if Thresh hits a hook, somebody's going to die.
Somebody, yeah, indeed. And we do see Trundle actually being picked up here for that top lane for Venom.
I think that's a really early Trundle pick. I'm not sure they should have done that early, because I think Trundle has a couple picks that you probably want to play him into. But let's see if Millenium has anything for him.
I kind of actually want to see that locked in and see Annie not as the support, but it looks
Isn't that Soaz that plays the Blitzcrank top? Yeah, I mean, where are you at, Soaz?
I was thinking, yeah, Fnatic. I mean, they had Yellow Star play Shen top lane, and Soaz played Blitzcrank bottom.
Oh, might see Warwick top.
Oh, wow. So we're going into Darian's kind of style right there.
We got Darian up in here now.
I would. That's pretty much his main champion. I can't.
Yeah, I would like the Lee Sin pick here. You're going to be able to match by as far as early pressure. You're actually going to out pressure early, and even at level 6, you're going to be able to counter gank on her and put just as much pressure on the lane. So I like that. Then I guess they're going to play Olaf into Trundle. So that's a pretty good pick. He'll be able to do true damage to the Trundle, so even if he does decide to stack some tank stats, he'll still be able to burst them down. But I think it's probably just going to be 2 tanks farming top, if I had my guess.
2 greased up fat lads from Grimsby, as Steven would say.
Yeah.
But with the lineup that we have for Millenium, while we sit on that last pick out of paiN Gaming, how do you think? Oh, wow.
Only a shifter nowadays. But I think a top level Ari is pretty good, but I don't think I'd pick it in the Gragas. Gragas can roam just as hard as you can. He can push up the wave just as hard as you can, and he has the potential to all in and kill you at any point in the game. So, kind of a weird pickup there. They have a really big pick comp though. They have Vi that can initiate with their ultimate. They have Trundle Pillar where they can slow somebody down and then catch them with the corks from the Jinx or a Thresh Hook. So I think they're just trying to pick off people around objects with that team comp. And then paiN is just, I guess they just have like this, it's not even a wombo comp. I don't really think there's much synergy with their comp. They have like the Annie-Gragas initiate, but they're just gonna have like Lee Sin and Olaf running into their team and Lucian trying to shoot people in the tank line. So it's kind of a weird team comp. I don't know. I don't really like Millenium's team comp that much. It's not that much synergy. But if they just win in the landing phase, it's not going to matter anyways.
Kind of very true. And one thing I do like seeing out of paiN's composition is the whole Ari Thresh combo, where if you hit a hook or you hit a charm, you're going to hit it with something else right after that with one of the two.
Yeah, I remember CLG saying that in one of the LCS splits. It's just somebody hits a skill shot, we're all going to hit our other skill shots on top of them, and then they're going to die. So.
And that's what was funny. That was what Altset was just so damn good at back at the summer split when they had went for an engage. No one hesitated. If someone went in, they just all piled in no matter what. If it was a terrible engage, they were going to lose it. They didn't care because that is so scary to go up against. Just having all 5 people committed to a fight versus, you know, a really risky engage where some people start running away. And
I think the problem with that though is they're going to have Olaf that's going to be sitting up there, and of course he can just ultimate out a lot of CC, and then Lee Sin's pretty slippery even if you catch him. So they're going to have to catch either Lucian or the Gragas, and even Gragas is still pretty tanky, especially if he gets an Hourglass, and of course he can body slam away. So they have a pretty good team at slipping out of those picks.
And we haven't seen many invades coming out the entire week, but we saw quite a few with paiN Gaming versus Ocelot World. And you think we're going to see any level 1 action with that whole lineup that paiN has?
I mean, both teams have pretty strong level 1 teams. They have Annie's CC, and then of course they have the Thresh Hook that they can potentially do, and RA Charm. But I don't really think you're going to see any level 1. Like, even if they mess with Vi's jungle or Lee Sin's jungle, I don't think that's going to put them that far behind to where the point would be worth it.
All right, well, we're going to be getting underway here in just a second. We're going to have Millenium on that blue side versus paiN Gaming on the red side. Just a quick little pause in this game. Not sure what's going on just yet, but hopefully it will be fixed in just a second. Every team wants everything perfect coming into this because there's a lot on the line. $15,000 for first place. No one to come in second either. And paiN Gaming, if they pull this off, I'm just glad I'm here. I can hear the crowd go crazy over it.
Millenium looks pretty straight-faced. They look really calm in all this. I don't know. And then, of course, you got paiN over here just joking. I've seen them doing that like every single game. They're just joking around. Seems like they're really good friends on that team. They have a pretty good team synergy going on there.
Yeah, they've been together for quite a while, at least the core of their team. Surti, Kami, and BRTT have been together just probably like since 2012.
Years. Yeah, it's a long time.
And, you know, thinking about paiN as, you know, being a player, do you think like they have, or do you feel like they have nothing to lose coming into this? Like they didn't even expect to get into the grand finals here, and now that they're here, they can kind of just go balls to the wall crazy if they wanted.
I mean, yeah, they can go into it that mindset, but
not the right mindset to go to.
There's a couple hundred fans standing in front of them where they feel like they got the.
Just gonna see if I can see in chat what is necessarily going on. Okay, apparently someone's PC just turned off randomly. Yeah, I would think not, and.
Kind of makes it hard to play.
I wonder if it's the heat that's doing it.
All right, where's Carmack at? We need to get this thumb wrestle match going in the meantime.
I will, Tim, if you're listening, try to contact Carmack. We need to see this happen, at least by the end of the day, because I'm pretty sure Kerp will kick the crap out of him. And,
yeah, I want to see the trackball muscles.
Oh, God. He's got muscles on his muscles. Like, have you ever seen someone flex their thumb?
No, I've never seen somebody
It's bigger than my biceps. Probably if I actually think about it, but
I don't know if I want to be sad for your biceps or impressed about his muscles.
A little bit of both, I think. I've been lifting some weights, obviously not as muscular
you
as
do like the Popeye thing where like this little bump comes out and you're like da-da-da-da-da.
Well, I'm actually gonna turn my arm to the side and then use my other hand to lift it up like this, just so it looks bigger.
All right, you got the flexing on cam. They just caught that.
Well, they also got me unbuttoning my shirt yesterday too, so what's worse?
Damn, they getting the whole show for you. Did they slip you any dollar bills?
Yeah, but they put them somewhere else.
Oh.
Oh, man. I'm pretty sure I've already taken my shirt off on stream before, at least on my personal one.
Okay.
Yeah. It wasn't intentional. Well, it was kind of intentional. But either way, so coming into this, let's talk about the lane matchups at least. You mentioned Olaf and Trundle a little bit. You talked about how Olaf will have that true damage, so it doesn't matter how tanky Venon gets against it. But how do you see it going in terms of the team fight potential of Trundle versus Olaf?
That's why it's so weird. Both of them kind of have limited CC. They're both just slow machines, and they're both insanely tanky. So I think they're going to be doing pretty much the same thing in the team fight. But of course, Trundle can ultimate the Olaf and sap all of his tank stats. So that could hurt them a lot, because Olaf's going to be running into their team trying to burst down that Jinx. And if he gets all his tank stats removed by that Trundle, he's probably going to die pretty fast.
And that's what we saw paiN do to Isris, if I'm not mistaken, when we casted that best of 3. I mean, they dove into the backside, Trundle just ulted him, and the AD carry alone, BRTT could just finish him by himself. Yeah,
so I think it's going to be a little rough on Kevin. Depends on how his lane phase goes, or how bad that's going to be for him. And then, of course, I think Vi scales a little bit better into late game than Lee Sin, but I like Lee Sin's early and mid game better. And I think he makes some really nasty plays with that Gragas. And the Gragas into Ahri, I think it's a pretty even matchup, although I'd actually give it to the Gragas, just because I like the way he scales better. And then Lucy and Annie versus Jinx Thresh, probably give it to Lucy and Annie. They just have a lot of all-in potential, especially once Annie at 6. They could instantly kill that Jinx she doesn't have a jump back. So if Lee Sin comes in, follows up that gank, instantly kill that Jinx.
I have to say that the bottom lane of Millenium hasn't really felt solid to me throughout this week. I mean, I remember seeing them back in Summer Split. Creatine was the highest KDA out of anyone in Europe and even North America at the time. It was just ridiculous how well he was playing, but it doesn't seem like they've been able to return back to their former glory. I'm not sure what it is necessarily, but they're definitely not performing like they did then.
Yeah, I don't know, it's kind of strange. Like, I always thought Creatine was a really good AD carry, and I don't know, it's just, I think they're just maybe jet lagged or something. I don't know, even in the LCS, they look like they're pretty strong, so I guess they just probably jet lag. If I had my guess, that's probably what it'd be.
Yeah, very true. I mean, it is a 12-hour flight across the ocean to get here, and I was quite tired as well from that. But this is what I don't get. Jerry, he never sweats.
Never sweats?
He never sweats.
Maybe
he never looks sweaty on camera.
Maybe he's a robot, man.
It's because right now I feel like I have a waterfall dripping down my face because of how hot it is. I wish we could turn up the lights or something back here.
Yeah, I figured. I mean, most European countries are pretty cold, aren't they? Right around now this time?
Germany is about, I think, 3 degrees right now, where if you're, familiar with Fahrenheit, that's about what, like,
it's like
40, 50 degrees.
Hell, a lot colder than it is here. It's so hot here. It's ridiculous.
I remember last year before we came, so it was Joe and I, we came, we went to, it was Katowice to do Intel Extreme Masters Katowice, and then we went back to Germany for a day or two. Then we flew straight to Warsaw, where it was seriously -7 or -10. It was ridiculously cold, and then went straight here to Brazil. It was so damn hot.
Yeah, I remember that. I was actually at Katowice, and I remember getting on a train, and the cab driver had to like shovel his car out of the snow. We had to help him get the cab out of the car. It was such a... It was like, we're getting out of... I
remember Joe got deathly ill as well when he came here because of that climate change. It was very hard to do.
I can see that. Oh my God, that'd be so rough. To go from -degree weather to this. It's so brutal.
Well, I'm not sure exactly what the problems are. I'm hoping that the production crew can actually tell me. I'm checking in with chat every once in a while, and still nothing new there. As Kevin,
it looks like he's back in the game.
Yeah, he has reconnected, so maybe the problem has been fixed. Maybe we'll be getting started in just a second.
Yeah, I think he just has to do a couple settings since the PC reset, and
there we go.
Good to go.
Looks like it will be starting here in just a second, guys. So to remind you, we have Millenium here in the grand finals against paiN Gaming, who are able to upset Ocelot World not just 30 minutes ago, and we are going to be kicking this game off. So we're going to have Millenium over on the blue side. We're going to have paiN Gaming over on the red side. Level 1 action. Talked about a little bit earlier on, but refresh your memory.
I think they're all just going to line up down the river and stare at each other grimacingly. You want to put some money on that?
Let's do it, yeah, because right now paiN's grouped up pushing bottoms. I'd like to put some money on this.
All right, I'll buy you a drink tonight. How about that?
Nice.
If you win.
I'll get the most expensive one I possibly can. But either way,
Mr. Pina Colada.
Good. Don't judge me. But we have paiN Gaming moving out towards the bottom side of the map, as well as Millenium. We could see some sort of engagement from Millenium. They seem to have the read on this. They are grouped up, waiting for the action. They're off the side. They have the stun, and when paiN walks into this, they might get that 5-minute stun that can be so crucial. And there's the charm. It lands on the cabin. They're going to get the hook onto him as well. He's getting very low. Bannon. He starts very low as well. The Ignite ticket. He's going to go down. First blood over to Jerry. And another switch over to Certi. Are they going to bust for the one? Yes, they do. The body slam out of Curve. It helps pick up the kill. They get 2 kills down now. Minerva, he's in trouble. He does have Flash Escape where RNA and Curve do not have it. But they are chasing this down. They don't want to let it go. And just like that, they seem to have the perfect read on paiN. They pick up the first 2 kills. And we're finally starting to see, oh no, call me.
With the disrespect, Lee Sin. Oh my God, I guess I own you your little pina colada then. Yeah, they ended up hooking the Olaf. It looked like they really predicted that. They had the Olaf sitting in there. He was the bait. He's the only person in the brush. You get a little bit of vision of it probably once you throw your skill shots in and you hit that hook. And they heard it hit, and then they just went all in on it. And of course, they got AoE. Gragas body slam does an insane amount of damage early on. So they just got cleaned up off of that. But you got to remember, early kills in the game with the changes to Season 4, not worth as much gold. So usually before that, I'm like, oh my god, well the game is, it's pretty much over. But I think it's going to give Millenium a lot of breathing room, but I don't think it's going to be a huge advantage. I mean, it's only like 800 gold at this point in the game. So.
One thing I want to touch on, though, and give your opinion, is the amount of summoners that were used for that fight.
You mean all the summoners?
Basically, yeah, basically all the summoners. And does this open up, or is this more of a benefit to RNA to gank, or is this more of a benefit to Surti?
Well, I mean, the main thing to look at is where the bot lane still has other summoners. So usually if you're a Lee Sin or a Vi, you kind of want to aim into the bot lane since they already have a lot of CC. But I think you're going to see a lot of pressure mid on this since Gragas doesn't have flash, neither does Ahri. And if you had a body slam on Ahri and Lee Sin follows it up, she's going to be dead.
You see Kerp, he's doing a lot of work right there, pushing him out almost instantly. We do have a couple of bodies picked up. I mean, mostly just wards out of everyone else who picked up those kills, just going to store the rest of that money for themselves. And what lane do you think we really need to watch out for? Like, where's all the action go down? I want to say...
It's going to be mid lane, for sure. I mean, both mid laners don't have flash, so... I think if the jungler shows up and either Ahri hits a charm or Gragas hits a body slam, somebody's going to die.
Well, right now, both junglers going to be able to take their own buffs here. Arne going to be at his blue as well as Surti. And I wonder if he's going to go off the back as well as Surti because they have so many possibilities. Like you said, bottom lane, pretty much have every summoner available, or at least their escape mechanism summoners.
Yeah, I don't think that he's going to be moving anywhere around bottom, but I can definitely see mid lane pressure. It looks like Lee Sin's going to be going top, though. He knows both the top laners have all their summoners down, so he might try to do something off of this.
He's looking for that kill on a Venom. If he can land that Q, or Kevin could just bait him out a little bit further, they're going to be able to make a big play off this. They do go in, they do get the slow. Venom gets caught with the Q. They're getting some good damage onto him. Are they going to go for the dive here? RNA is getting very low on health. He's forced to actually back away, almost going down.
If Olaf had his ignite for that, and he didn't blow in a level 1 fight, that would have been a dead Trundle.
Either way, they do push him out of the lane. They're going to shove this in. They're going to force Venom to be even further behind. He only has that 6 CS compared to that 17 now on Kevin.
That's such a massive way to be losing. Not only the farm and the CS, but that's so much experience. That's a level and a half right there. Even the cannon minions in that wave, but he's just missing all of that. It's so brutal. And of course, the Vi, not even in position to come clean that up.
And Kevin, he gets spotted out by that ward, but he was waiting on the sideline to make something happen off that. And that turret, he's going to drop down to about half health here. And we're going to see summoners come up here momentarily. It's about 30, 40 seconds to go. And I wonder, is Arne going to visit that top lane yet again? Is he going to visit somewhere else? But he's already applied that pressure on the map, giving him that 1,200 gold advantage. Yeah,
I think the damage is done top. I don't think Trundle's going to be pushing out anytime soon. So
right now, you're seeing that harassment come in out of Millenium. J-Reed getting BRTT relatively low here. We do see on the top side, though, Arne goes straight in for Surti. And Surti doesn't have that flash to get away. Arne has an ability to run around. He's actually kind of getting caught off right here. He's got Venom to worry about, but he can hustle probably take him 1v1 in this fight. Said he does ward up, does safeguard to it, and he should be able to escape this, I want to say, but Venom trying to go after him, does get the slow. Surti, though, not there to really back him up.
That level 1 kill gold gives him an extra ward to hop to. Gives him a pretty good advantage and a nice escape route.
All right, so about 5 minutes in here. Let's take a look at the early CS across the board because we already see results of Arne coming towards the top side. 18-7 now. We have a level 3 Olaf compared to a level 2 Venom, but you can just see in the health alone that Kevin just has a giant advantage.
Yeah, if you get the level advantage on somebody in lane with Olaf, just because the nature of his abilities and how his chain CC works with his axe, he can just slow you down the lane over and over again. It becomes really brutal if that wave gets pushed in favor where the Olaf can freeze it in front of his tower. And it looks like the wave is going to be pushing in, so if Olaf's smart and he freezes that wave in front of his tower, that Trundle's never going to be able to farm again.
Or Arne is going to come in for a gank as well. Venom doesn't really have a way to escape here. He does get the nice block down with a Pillar of Filth, but they're not able to catch up to him just yet. Will they go for the dive here? Kevin's taking up. He does have the ignite. They're going to go for it. Venom's going to go down. Kevin, will he be able to escape? Yes, he does. And that is another kill going over to Millenium. 3-0 now, 5.5 minutes in.
Yeah, Arne has this guy's number. He does not want this Trundle to get going, and he doesn't want him to get fed at all. He's basically taking him out of the game, because a Trundle who's not farmed up and doesn't have a lot of levels, and is not tanky, and doesn't have Blade of the Rune King or any of those kind of core items, he's literally useless in a team fight. He's going to put his pillar down, ult, and then he's literally going to do nothing. And level 1 ult doesn't even sap that much stats, so I think he just wants to take that tank out of it. That's their primary tank in their team, and if you take the tank out of the team comp, you can just run the Jinx over.
So here's a question for you, because I always wonder how early aggression or early results in a game can really affect you down the line. Venom and Kevin. Since Kevin has this giant advantage over him, has a 20 CS lead, has a level advantage, do you expect Kevin to keep pushing that top lane once he gets that turret down, or do you expect him to group up with Millenium, maybe go for some global objectives?
Well, I actually don't think he's ever going to try to take that top turret. He wants that turret to stay up because he wants.
He's actually very live with Knights away, but does survive. Oh no, here comes CertC, and he gets it down. Also, he flashed, lands the Q on a combo, he turns it around, and Curve does escape with it. In favor of
Gragas, but he managed to catch that Ahri off guard and just nail her in the face and pick up that kill. That's pretty nice.
And RNA really strutting his stuff here with that lead set. He's behind quite a bit of CS, but he's been involved in every single kill right now, just making his presence known towards the spawn side of the map, maybe trying to scare up paiN. And right now, kami going down, we have clear advantages for Millenium. I mean, mid lane, 51 to 37 CS. But Jerry getting hooked up right there under turret. He's actually getting hit by the turret as well. The Ignite does go down. Will they commit off? This BRTC forced to back away because of Creatine. Jerry's going to have to go home and heal up here, but CertC, he's actually going for semi-invade here. Maybe he's expecting his blue to be taken.
Yeah, he sees Lee Sin's in the bottom. Yeah, he sees Lee Sin's in the bottom lane, so of course, usually people start their blue a lot. Probably not a Lee Sin. So he wants to have that warded for when it does come up. He's going to go to his red and probably try to contest that blue buff.
All right, well, let's see how that goes. About 8 minutes in here. And right now, Millenium, let's take a look at the early items that have been built up so far. But check out Kevin. Double Doran's Blade, Doran's Shield, and a chain vest.
Yeah, he has so many Doran's items, and he has the chain. It's like oh my god, he has so many Doran's items. He has this chain vest. He's probably going to go into Sunfire, maybe a Glacial Shroud after that. But there's no way that Trundle can do any damage to him at this point. He has a Cloth Armor and a Doran's Shield. He literally will do nothing to this Olaf. The Olaf has so much control and he can do anything he wants to this guy right now. He's probably at the point where he can just straight up dive on his own pretty soon.
And you see Kevin, he is level 6, approaching level 7 right now. We take a look at Venom real quick. He's just about to hit level 6, so finally have that ultimate, that extra sustain off of that. In the meantime, though, we're having RNA. He's got this whole map controlled. He's going for this blue still here. It looks like he's going to be able to take it. Kirk has the zone available right now with his ultimate if he wants to use it, and they should be able to pick this one up. RNA will actually take that for himself. Yeah, whenever he was able to spot it, he can take it.
I'm actually really surprised that the Bai decided to just take his red and then just not do anything about going for the enemy blue. Instead, he just went back to base.
Actually, I don't think it's been taken just yet over for Millenium. It looks like it's seeing CertC finally come around, so we might see that wish come true. And he realizes that Kami needs that blue. Will he be here in time, though? Because Kurt, he's in position to stop this. He has ultimate available, and Kurt will be able to pick up that blue.
The most amazing thing. But actually, I think it's a little bit better now because, you know, it has 10% CDR. They kind of nerfed the mana regen on a little bit. But the energy regen is actually really nice for making a lot of plays. And since Curve got the blue buff from the enemy team, it's going to be really good for pressure.
And we're seeing all the on BRTT knocks it down to about a third. Sword, but Creatine has it as well as a Ruby Crystal. Right now, RNA on a curve. They already saw RNA there, so I'm a little bit surprised.
Yeah, did he just explosive grasp? He just missed his ultimate, didn't he? It was so he threw it point blank in front of him. It almost looked like he didn't come out of it, and completely. I'm surprised that they didn't decide to go in on that. They saw Gragas' ult miss. They got to put a lot of pressure and probably kill him.
Well, right now, we have Kevin still dominating Venom. And the thing is, what about Venom did so well throughout the entire week was that he was always farming. I mean, if he fell behind, he would never fall this far behind. He was always a rock-solid person to go to for his team, a backbone to really...
Yeah, he was definitely the workhorse of his team. I mean, he was in the thick of every single fight. He's just this huge tank wall in every single fight. And he just can't quite do that this game. He's just falling pretty behind. But one thing to note is he keeps getting these double golems. And level
3,300 gold to the pretty much 1,000 gold in favor of Kevin, and you're seeing that reflected.
I mean, there's so many jungle camps in the game right now, and they respawn so fast. It doesn't really matter if you take jungle camps at this point. And even Vi, she's focusing her time bottom now, trying to get that gank off, so she's not going to be going for those jungle camps anyways.
All right, well, he does have that ultimate available. He doesn't have flash, but they do obviously have that lantern gank, and Thresh has his ultimate up as well. J-Re's sitting on that stun. Tipper's not available just yet. And Surtees not going to be, actually would be spotted when he goes into this next push.
Kind of an interesting time for him to go for this gank when the wave's so far pushed up. I mean, if he goes in and ults and somebody flashes him into turret and he gets stunned, it could be really bad for him.
We even saw Kami trying to come around down towards the bottom side. I wonder if he's trying to expect a counter or try to gank RNA when he comes in, if he's trying to turn it around. But the way RNA not really caring about Venom hitting him right there, as you can see, and that turret's already very low in life now.
Yeah, the Trundle does literally no. I think he's healing him at this point. It's just pretty ugly to watch.
That would suck if he had negative AD and actually go down. But the flash that cuts that BRTT, so Trundle gets hit with the Q, but the fire interrupt! It stops RNA from getting to BRTT with the super pick and death rocket, always picks up the kill, and RNA as a nice kickback comes in, but Creature gets pulled back into the team, and they're going to reset this with no kills coming in, but that was a beautiful Q out of Surtees to stop that.
Beautiful play by Surtees. The ball breaker ended up knocking the Lee Sin out of his kick. Jinx would have been dead for sure at that hit. So really nice play defending him right there.
Venom being forced to use that ultimate in that top side just to hit a little bit to make sure he can't be dove there on the bottom side. And Kevin, he's just unstoppable. He's still almost double the CS right now with Venom, and it's constantly taking the jump creeps like you're saying before, but I'm really worried because Kevin's sitting on 1,600 gold. He's going to be such a tanky beast that I wonder if Dragon is going to be a real thing to happen soon.
I think he's found out where Trundle's been this whole game, and I don't think he likes it, so he's just going to try to take that gold. But let's see if he's
going to go for the engage. He has that ghost.
Yeah, the thing is Ari's missing off the map right now, so I don't think he wants to commit to that.
Well, that turret already down to 600 life.
Well, the big thing here is that turret's just eating every single one of those creeps, and they're not getting anything out of it.
It's going to hurt him quite a bit more as he progresses into this game, but he has been able to go giant spell. He has been able to build up a little bit tanky, and still level down. He's going to get caught here. It's flash over that Wraith Camp wall, and with that, it actually forces somehow to back away. Didn't have the ultimate available.
Yeah, that was a straight up in your face. It's like, what are you going to do about it? The Vi was even sitting there backing right in front of him, and he decided to almost tower dive the Ari right in front of that Vi. 2v1 tower dive, and yeah, he's just still staying in the lane. He's full.
Look at this, Arnek coming in the backside. They know, but they do see Turbo coming from the side. He does get the kill. Second, and now Venom trying to go after Curve here. He does have Surtees coming in from the backside. We can hear him laughing. He's taking no damage from Venom.
Yeah, I don't think he cares at all about the Trundle. The Chain Vest doesn't exactly give Trundle that much damage, so don't think he'd be too scared of it. But yeah, that Ari just took so much damage from that barrel, and one of the reasons is the DFG, so they don't really have any magic resist.
And that's going to be a dead curve. Just coming a little bit too far, being a little bit too aggressive, trying to take that rip up, and he does get punished with it. paiN picking up their first kill of the game here. 5-1 now in favor of Millenium.
Curve just needs to calm down just a little bit between all these fives.
And Millenium just are all inning this bottom lane. BRTT getting very low, waiting for that side. It does land, and that is a BRTT dead as well. One kill apiece for Millenium in this bottom lane, and now it's 7-1. Millenium, they're just starting to run away with this game.
Well, remember at the beginning of this game, you said you didn't really see much out of Cretan in that bottom lane. Well, there it is right for you. It seems like they took control of this, and I mean, BRTT Minerva, they're not exactly just like a slouch bottom.
With BRTT.
Better AD carries.
Well, right now we have Kevin still being in the top. I will say it's definitely a pain in their ass right now because he constantly shoves in that top lane over and over. That was totally intentional too. I feel bad for that one. But Curve gonna be able to take his own move up here, it looks like. And they have been able to build up a 6,000 gold lead. They haven't even bothered going for Dragon yet.
Yeah, it's a 6,000 gold lead in 15 minutes in the game without taking a single Dragon. That's pretty big. A lot of that gold is from towers, but of course it's 7 in the top lane. It's double his farm. That's so much farm differential. And I think just because that Trundle is so far out of the game, it might just cost them the game. I don't see a way of them making it back in at this point because they have this pick comp. They want to take over objectives and take control. If you're behind, you can't really do that.
And you're seeing Kami just be zoned up from that one barrel. I mean, all that yesterday they can. You see every lane is winning for Millenium, they're not losing anywhere except maybe in the jungle because of the difference in farm, but still in the end, you have RNA being in 5 of the 7 kills, where fortunately for Surti already has that 1 death, and you see RNA moving around looking for another kill yet again. Look for that early sweepers, and it's been working out so well for them because it's been giving them the opportunity to make a lot of these ganks happen.
Yeah, he's been controlling so much of the vision. He's literally been everywhere on the map in this game, and he definitely made his presence felt top lane. That Trundle is still hurting from that, so I think they're just going to try to make a play on Dragon. They have so much pressure in the bot lane, but it looks like paiN actually wants to contest this.
Well, we do have Kevin coming down from the top side. Those top. It looks like they're going to back away. Kevin.
Smart decision for them to back out on that. If they got, they probably would all instantly die.
That was 3 ultimates used and no kills picked up, and now Ari's getting chased down by Kevin. He already uses Ghost. There's his Ragnarok actually popped. He's looking for the kill. Can he land the axe? It's going to rest of that 4-man grouped up. We're going to take the first middle turret and maybe a second.
Yeah, you know you're in a bad situation when your mid and top lane is getting 1v2. And that's like I was saying at the beginning of the game is, even if you get a Thresh hook or a pick on that Lee Sin, he's such a slippery champion that he's going to be able to make it away from that really easily.
And he showed it right there perfectly, just like you said. I mean, it did commit his flash, but he got rid of 3 ultimates. Really been impactful in these games just yet. Haven't been able
to use in the top lane, so I wouldn't be surprised if they try to get a pick here.
Kevin, in the meantime, doing what a Kevin does, just firing up that top lane. 160 CS now, 18 minutes in. The funny thing is, he's not even leading his team because Kurp is actually at 164. He's going to get chased down here. He doesn't have Ignite. He doesn't have Ragnarok. Turn around and fight this. He does get ignited up. Ben and Surti pretty much using everything they possibly can. We see the rest of them coming in from the bottom side. Hey, you get a flash over the wall. He's going to get the stun on the see the flash out. Sorry, they do push him back. They're going to save Kevin's life. They're not going to chase them down, but they do keep him alive nonetheless. But we do see Kavi come up the side. He has flash, he has ignite, he has ultimate, but he's not going to go for it. He's going to back out instead.
Yeah, his team came in just the nick of time to save him. They didn't want to have anything to do with it. I mean, they have the Spec Gragas, and of course that Annie has her flush tape at that point. So really good for them to get out of that. But I like what they're doing with it. They're just basically taking the Trundle out of the game. He's not going to be in any of the team fights. They don't really have a very good tank line. All's going to just sit up top. He's going to push top all day, and they have to send more than one person to deal with him. They're really doing a really good job of using a 4-1 split.
And even then, I mean, if it's not Surti and Venom, then they might be able to get turned around 1v2 by Kevin with how strong he is now.
Yeah, he ended up beating the Ahri and the Trundle earlier in the fight. So, yeah, I don't think anybody can handle that all off right now.
We do see Kurp on 2,000 gold, has Themes of Holy Grail done. We do see the DFG done on Kami, which is a typical Ahri build, but
who is he going to burst on that tank?
Exactly.
I mean, that Olaf's pretty damn tanky. Lee Sin, he has the Sight Stone and the Ancient Golem on top of that. And yeah, Athene's gives you a ton of MMR, and you also have your damage reduction on Gragas' W, so...
I mean, the only one he could get is Creatine or Jayri, but if he goes for them, he's going to get stunned and locked down. Yep. Oh, but there we go. Arne getting caught yet again. We did see 3 ultimates used last time. He's going to be able to escape this time most likely. No, he gets taken out by Surti and paiN. Picking up a match to kill. Can they make anything else happen off this? You see Kirk, he does have his ultimate available. A little bit confused why he didn't use it to save RNA, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I think yeah, I have no idea why he didn't use his ultimate. Was it not up? Or it was definitely up. So I'm pretty surprised that he didn't use the cast to try to either A, counter-engage, or B, save Lee Sin.
Either way, paiN getting a much needed kill. They're almost 10,000 gold behind, and that one, we did go over to Surti. So he's able to pick up that kill, maybe get a little bit tankier than he needs to, but Kevin, in the meantime, going for the red buff here. He might get actually posed in on because he's standing right on top of the ward. Kami doesn't have ultimate advantage.
I really think that Kevin's going to be too scared of the people closing in on him. And of course, he just some kind of CC on him.
The thing is, that's not a good sign if you're a paiN fan. I mean, 2 times in a row they had to give a they had all 5 there. Goes really quickly as we have a little Kevin top wave, has a Sunfire Cape done, has an Ninja Taba, he has Negatron Cloak. Look over at specifically Creatine, Triforce done, the BF Sword done. He's basically a full BF Sword ahead of his opponent right now onto BRTT, and then we look at Jayri, he almost had that Talisman of Ascension done, and he has boots mobility.
Yeah, once he has the Talisman of Ascension, they'll have so much initiation capability, and I'm pretty sure she's going to try to flash Tibbers that Jinx and have the Gragas follow up, and then of course Olaf's going to be running with Talisman Ascension. Jinx is not going to survive.
to be very difficult for paiN, but they have proven in the past they have been able to come over worse odds than this, and Kevin, he's still... There's a lot of words I want to use for him right now, but he's been doing such a good job distracting top lane.
He's being a paiN, right?
Yeah, he's being a paiN right now for paiN Gaming, but he's been playing this role perfectly. I mean, he realized he had the advantage, and he's been using it. He's been playing it down to a T, like exactly what they needed to.
Yeah, RNA gave him the advantage in the early game. Really good job by him, and he came back and revisited the lane just to put the nail in the coffin, and Kevin has just run off with that lead.
He almost has a 100 CS lead over him.
Yeah, he's at 90 CS over him. It's pretty damn ugly. And of course, they have all that tower gold on top of that.
Kevin kind of get caught up a little bit here, and I said caught up, but I'm pretty sure Surtee is the one that's actually caught. They actually commit the ultimate onto him. I'm not sure that's the target they want to make happen. They don't really have any DPS back to help him. He has Ghost, he has Ragnarok. He's going to pop that one. He's still sitting on top of that Ghost, but instead he's not going to come in as RNA even go back to the engage. We have Kami coming up from middle of the hook, unfortunately not going to land. And look in the meantime what's happening. Creatine is just pushing this middle lane, and the rest of Millenium are just distracting.
Yeah, Millenium is just trying to buy time. They saw Creatine pushing bottom a lot earlier into that. Creatine just took advantage of that, and they just took that free bot through. There's nobody down there doing anything about it. And of course, they have the Dragon timer, who's going to swing down right after that, collect that free global gold.
And with that Dragon going down, this could be Millenium taking a 10,000 gold lead here exactly at 23 minutes in. And if you're in, paiN's shoes, what do you need to do to get back in this? Because they have one sweeper lens. Now the rest, the 4 warning trinkets, but the thing is they can't even fight anyone because, as you're saying, you ult Kevin, it doesn't really do anything. You ult RNA, it doesn't really do much because they're just so tanky.
Well, not only that, if you look at the map, there's this jungle. They see every single thing that's happening. So how are you going to pick on somebody, which is what paiN's entire team is built until they take down that top turret, and then they'll probably move on to Baron.
And Kevin, he's just shoving Bennett, and Bennett's had so many great trouble as a game picked up. RNA actually Kevin coming from the top side. They're going to go for this turret. And Trundle's nowhere to be found. He had to go back to base. He was so low.
Yeah, everybody's completely in position to cut off on that right side near the blue buff.
Like they're reading book, they're executing this playbook that they had before this game even started. They're just one thing by the text and really pulling this one off. It just seems like paiN, they don't really have an answer to this. They're even tanking up that turret. We see Kami actually getting very low. I believe that was to Kerp with just one little combo.
Yeah, it's a really good play by Millenium here, rotating top lane after this, keeping paiN on their toes and making sure that they don't have time to as they can, where they paiN and farm back up and get any eyes on their champion.
Right now, you see Kami forced to go back to base here. He finally has arrived, but it's just too late. They're going to get the top turret, and that's going to take him to 6-0 in favor of turrets, 7-2 in favor of kills, 12,000 gold lead almost here. They have the potential to do Baron if they want to ward up the enemy jungle yet again, but even though they've picked up more Barons than anyone else here in Intel Extreme Match Paulo, I'm not sure if they're going to go for that or they even need it.
Well, first they need to, go back and get some wards. Everybody needs to get pink wards, sweeper lenses. They took out that mid and top turret. What that does is allows them to control the entire red side jungle. They have nowhere to run back to. It's so far back to save point, which is their base turrets, that if somebody gets caught trying to check for Baron or trying to ward for Baron once they clear out all the vision, it's going to be a free Baron or a free inhibitor off of that. So Annie, what she's going to do right now is to try to clear out all the vision around Baron, and then the rest of their team is going to get wards all around.
What's a shame is that, I mean, personally, what do you think? Should paiN invest in any more super wards? Or super trinkets to kind of clear out that vision so they can afford to push out without being afraid of getting stunned up?
To be honest, when you're 11k gold, you only, I think half against it, you got a problem there. So the proper reaction is to just get all the waves pushed out and then just try to, you basically have to wait for the laner to make a mistake and try to defend and basically hold out at a base turret.
Oh, Baron down to about 8,000 life right now. We do see paiN working their way over. I think they sense something is happening, but that Barrel's going to do some decent damage to paiN there. They're going to win up over the wall. We do have Surtee with that flash available. He could go for the steal here, but Jerry getting caught on the backside. Kami gets blown the hell up, and you see Jerry still alive. He finally does drop, but Minerva can drop very low. He's going to go down, and we see Kevin so damn tanky. He finally does go down, but not before taking out the RTC. The flash out of Kevin gets the body slam, and Surtee forces the flash out of him. Creatine's going to hop over the wall, and now Ben, the last man standing, doesn't get body slam, but he's forced to flash away, and Millenium losing 2 2 people, but picking up 4 kills is sure allow them to pick up inhibitor.
Yeah, that tunnel's quite a bit. They not get the bear net, but there's 4 members of paiN dead, so they're just gonna go in. Take it on this wave. They have no wave coming up for a while. They do massive damage to it, but I don't think they're gonna quite be able to get it yet. One thing I would have liked to have seen out of Millenium there is they had so much, they could have put up so much vision control, and they could have just got an easy pick. Like, you saw how much damage that Gragas did. That Ari instantly died. So they can do that to almost any member of paiN Gaming. They just need to wait somewhere where they have good vision control and just pick somebody off when they come in to check it.
Right now we see Minerva with that super lens. He's spotting out that blue. That's not going to be there. He actually might walk right into Curve, and look, the damage Curve gets tossed. Can he kite them long enough right now? It looks like the Super Mega Death Rocket's up on the bottom side. Unfortunately, not going to hit. And will Surti him down as we have Creature actually he's hitting both at the same time. He doesn't care who he kills, but paiN will be able to escape from that. And RNA even getting very close. Lazy to get the kill. He gets one more auto attack up. We see the ult. The time he come out of the kill.
Bloodthirsty this game. He doesn't care who he's going against. He just keeps flying into everybody. He doesn't care if he dies.
And paiN getting a lot of much needed kills right there. I don't think anyone even went down. If anything, that was Minerva, but you can afford to get rid of his support if you're able to pick up a kill onto RNA and on the Curve right there. Creatine just going to be backing away from that top side. Decent amount of gold to spend, I would imagine, over on the side of paiN, but right now we do have Creatine being chased down by Surti, and they're just running. They're holding hands right now.
Yeah.
They're best of friends.
It's like, all right, let's just go run off together.
Creatine not able to dodge away from that just yet, but he's still kiting them for a long time. So you see Jerry coming up from the bottom side top lane. Only going to come out to Surti, not doing a lot of damage, but he is able to get under the turret. Jerry is now here. They're going to look for the stun. They get the stun on Surti under the turret. He goes down. Creatine does survive. In fact, pick up the kill for himself. Now they're actually chasing out paiN. Coming in and should be able to lead this, and it looks like they're going to pick up another kill here. Can Creatine get that triple kill? He's looking for it. Yes, it does.
Those 3
Creatine's
kills are going to guarantee a Baron unless somebody messes up a smite. So Vi is down for another 10 seconds. So even if Vanguard, in time she gets down there, of course, Grass is just going to be zoning out ultimate. If somebody press this, it's probably just going to knock out his ultimate.
But make a Death Rocket's coming from the side, just a little bit too early right there. Baron's still very healthy right now. It looks like Millenium, the back of those 3 kills, are going to get Baron. Get a ginormous lead here, 14,000 gold, 29 minutes in. And this might be the end of paiN here in this first map.
I mean, look at the bright side. Jinx is getting that dragon. Hey,
always
dragon
optimistic.
Dragon at this point in the game gives more gold than Baron. Okay. paiN has their parties in order.
Well, will he get it? Surti coming in, does actually lock that one down, but RNA very blood hungry, looking in for maybe a fight right there. And you see the Random Omen picked up on him, the Random Omen picked up on Kevin. We should talk about items just a little bit here because Kerp, he's already been doing a lot of damage.
It seems like everybody just wants to prioritize stacking armor. They're not really afraid of Ari at this point in the game. Olaf has a lot of natural magic resist because of his ultimate, and Lee Sin, I don't really think he cares if he gets poked. He's like, oh, if you're going to blow your whole Ari combo on me, I'm going to be happy to take that as a jungler. So he just wants to be as tanky as possible and just sit on that Jinx, sit on that Vi, sit on that Trundle, and make sure that he doesn't get to their back line. Because Lucian's pretty damn fed at this point in the game. He has his last Whispers, BT, his Triforce, and he's just going to melt that tank line.
CS, 24 CS ahead of that Baron buff, trying to barrel middle, no pun intended, Kerp right there. BRTT, we get out of position. We're looking to see Kevin potentially chasing him down if he did want to cross that side. And I wonder, are we going to potentially see a dive come in here because they have that Tibbers to open this one up?
Yeah, and he doesn't ever flash up, but I guarantee if one of the squishies comes up to try to clear that wave, you're going to see Gragas Barrel or Annie combo, and somebody's going to die.
And look at that damage right there. Just one head of Kerp. His ultimate's still up right now. Kame getting harassed down. The turret getting taken. Get the hell out of there. RTD actually flashed away. You gotta be very careful because if one stun, one slow lands, it's gonna be the end of them. They get the inhibitor, they're gonna go there and look at the barrels. They just keep landing one after another, even onto the tankiest man of paiN.
I really like the way that Kerp uses his ultimate just to chunk them so they can't fight for that turret. He took Kami down to like 10% health, and once he's at that low health, that's a free turret for them.
Oh, and the Cole going off with the he does home guards, which is a little bit unfortunate for him. And Kevin, he's just taking out that turret, not really caring. He does get hooked in. He's going to start getting a little bit low here. But with that berry buff, I would imagine it's not really too worried.
Yeah, Ari's ultimate's out now. Gragas' ultimate's just about to come back up. I guarantee he's going to do the exact same thing. Throw out his ultimate to Kunk and then take turret.
It's called the ultimate out of Annie. Actually back away off of this. They're happy that they have very regen to still commit for this push, and that turret is already dropping very, very low. Or eventually will.
I think they gotta wait on the creeps for that. Maybe a little over-ambitious to get it right now.
They are taking.
It's definitely gonna be a turret.
And Kevin, he's going for the engager. Ragnarok popping, taking out the turret as well. Chase after BRTT. He does get getting very low. Cretan just diving straight in. RNA zoning them out here. The second inhibitor turret goes down. The second inhibitors go down as well. And I want to say with BRTT down, that Millenium could finish this game, but in fact, they're going to play it safe. They're going to.
Just came up. I guess they just want to save. You know, just want to make sure they get the nice clean win.
Millenium, we're about 33 minutes into game. The lead, 16,000 gold. I mean, it's just so far, and obviously the longer the game does go on, it won't matter as much, but paiN just, what's so weird is that we talked about the whole game plan of paiN. They want to catch someone with the skill shot. They want to, you know, charm them or hook them and really open it up for an entire burst down. Yeah. But the front line of Millenium, they just don't care. They can't even be bursted yet by paiN.
I think that paiN made almost the same mistake that us mid laner. Lee Sin's somebody that usually can't blow up because he's so slippery. He has so many ways of getting out. And Olaf, like, who the hell is going to kill this guy? He's been sitting up in top lane, like, 1v5ing them. He just doesn't care. Like, who are they going to pick off on that team? And so Ahri's just going to become a moot point in this game. She's not going to be a factor at all. So I'm not sure I feel about the Ahri pick. One where they got that little bit of edge, had a little bit to do with that. But I still think in this late game, they were pretty close in farm. I would have still gave it to Millenium's team now.
All right, well, right now we're about 34 minutes in. We're looking at that final push potentially coming in. We have those two inhibitors being down middle and bottom. Super minions are starting to flood into those lanes. And Millenium, they don't have Baron buff anymore, but they have all 5 men top lane. They have not the man they wanted. So you can see the damage pretty much doing nothing. You see actually paiN going to the backside, lands a charm, but Creatin's Banshee's Veil does cleanse that off. And they are just stalling. I mean, we can take a look really quickly over here. We see the Super minions pushing in. They need to do something about it soon. And now Millenium are just stalling. They don't really care.
Yeah, they're going to have to send Jinx down for that. It's going to take her a while to clear out all. Probably just going to get a lot of free chunk off on the turret.
Here we go. The barrels are landing for Curve here. paiN are taking a lot of chip. Going to be able to dodge it. We do see one Nexus turret actually fall here. Look, minions are on this Nexus turret. They have to let them go, or they're going to have to go for a fight here, and they do back away. They're going to take those down. Millenium are going to take the last inhibitor turret of the game, take the last inhibitor as well. And with that Nexus turret still almost falling, they do finally go for the gate. They get pushed. Aiden's trying to convert into the team, but now he's being forced to run away. He gets a little bit slippery, but it looks like he might go down with the combo CC that they have. The anti-ultimate comes down on a BRTT, he gets blown up by Curve. Now the rest of paiN are being forced to completely run away. A 1-for-1 trade, but that last Nexus turret, that is going down. Cammy gets stunned, he goes down. He's going to get a kill on J-Reef, but it's not going to matter much in the end. The Nexus is falling away. They're looking for some more kills on his certain team, which is going to mean anything here. First game of this best of 3 against paiN Gaming in a very, very one-sided affair.
Yeah, you know it's an ugly game when the support's almost one-shotting your AD carry. That was pretty ugly at the end. I don't know, I think paiN Gaming just needs to get a little bit of better team comp and not, I don't know, like that whole situation in the top lane, I think that really put their team behind. It put so much pressure and they eventually had to deal with that Olaf, and that, yeah, there was nothing they could do about him. So, I don't know, I'd like to see maybe a little better.
Saying, I mean, picking it out early, you could be counterproductive. We had the Olaf come in and give, who cares about what Venom was doing. He was
RNA made sure that matchup was a living hell. I would not want to be that trundle in that.
The thing is, we saw the one fight break out. We saw 2 kills from lane. They're able to blow a lot of summoners away from paiN. And then RNA, he's stuck top lane until he guaranteed a kill on a Venom. And then after that, he said, all right, if you're getting top lane, Kevin, he's got this. He's got 2 kills under his belt.
Well, I mean, the trundle eventually became, yeah, Venom's like, well, I'm the jungler for the team now. So screw this top lane. I'm going to be taking these double golems and repeat it. And then on top of that, losing Annie lane did really well. Like you said, Cretan and J-Re weren't really shining in this tournament. Right. And I think they kind of woke up.
They finally have woken up, but